Reality check that we were actually identifying with the individual who took our dear loved one away from us. You're gonna pay dearly, John. How dare you do such a devilish act? You took someone that was so dear to so many people away from us for your own callous, selfish reasons. You just find yourself completely exhausted. The hurt, the anguish that you feel. You're on an emotional roller coaster, day in and day out. I think we all have that one person that we would be willing to give or do anything for. And though I have that with my own children, desheena was the daughter that I never had.
Many couples, especially those who have come out of toxic relationships, are unaware that it is ideal to go on to the next person and never get back together after the initial breakup. Some choose to go on and pursue other partners, while others seek to reunite in the hopes of a successful reconciliation. Everybody has had unique experiences. But in this case, even though desheena and John had a poisonous relationship, they kept going back to it until one of them died. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to desheena's family and friends. On June 25, 1994, desheena Lacole Kyle was born. She was humorous, outgoing, vibrant, and had a lovely grin. She left a good impression on everyone she met and loved the people closest to her. Being the first grandchild, her family described her as someone who encouraged them to love their children. She was a caregiver, a profession that requires a kind person who would genuinely care for the individuals they served. Like desheena, who was said to have loved her clients, she would take advantage of any chance to speak about them. In addition, she was someone who could inspire others to achieve more and had dreams of opening a boutique.
She had a great big heart, and anything that she set out to do, she set out to do it big. And she impacted a lot of lives in a very positive way.
Desheena Kyle had a relationship with John Bassett. The two were high school sweethearts who started dating in 2012. Although everything went smoothly at first, their relationship gradually soured. It turned poisonous as it deteriorated. They clicked immediately after Bassett admitted he thought she was cute. The connection between the two was volatile at times and was intermittent. The family also disclosed that each time Kyle ended the relationship, John would stalk her. Court documents dated July 2014 state that after a physical altercation, Bassett struck Kyle. When she attempted to leave the house, Bassett allegedly struck her in the side of the head. Later, when she attempted to leave in a car, Bassett allegedly struck her car's window with a rock, shattering it, further injuring her. After the incident, he was placed under custody, but the charges were eventually dropped. John said to the police that Kyle had occasionally stabbed him in the leg and damaged his possessions. He claimed she would get melancholy and fixated on their arguments. She arrived to his house in November 2020, he claimed, and she knocked out a window in defiance. Kyle eventually expressed her desire to die, took his rifle, and placed it to her head, according to Bassett. He reported that he was able to quiet her down and remove the firearm at that moment. They decided to end their relationship due to its toxic nature. Kyle's aunt went to Kyle's apartment on June 25, 2021, after the family had not heard from her in over a week. The aunt discovered the front door locked and a rear window broken, with shards of glass on the windowsill and floor. Kyle's car was parked in its normal location outside, and her dog was left behind.
I can't believe that I'm looking at my baby's pictures out here like this. Like she really missing.
It's been almost 2 weeks since anyone heard or saw a 26-year-old Knoxville woman. Knoxville police say desheena Kyle went missing from Wilson Road. KPD says her last verified sighting was June 18th, and investigators have strong reason to believe she could be in danger. Reporter Amelia Young spoke to her family. They're now offering a $10,000 reward for information.
June 25th was desheena Kyle's 26th birthday. It also marked the first time her family hadn't heard from her.
And this is the first time since she's been born that I've not talked to her on her birthday.
Kyle's aunt, Rita Turner, says she tried numerous times that day to make contact, but came up short. She says friends last spoke to Kyle 2 days before her birthday, although KPD says the last verified sighting was days before that.
But what we do know is this is so unlike her. She's either in a ton of distress or she's in danger.
The last confirmed sighting of Kyle was on June 18, 2021. When Kyle vanished, Bassett told police he had no idea where she was. After entering a guilty plea to one count of possessing half a gram of cocaine in 2019, he was placed on probation. On July 7, 2021, he was taken into custody by police on a probation violation charge. Based on court documents, he was detained in jail on multiple drug-related offenses after being taken into custody on a warrant. According to the arrest log, Bassett was detained on a felony allegation of possessing cocaine with the intent to sell or deliver it, which also included a probation violation. Months passed, and community members conducted multiple searches. On September 28, 2021, Kyle's body was discovered in an abandoned residence in North Knoxville. Kyle and Bassett had a tumultuous relationship, making him the leading suspect in her abduction. Bassett was charged with the murder of desheena Kyle while in custody on unrelated counts. Bassett was indicted on the charges in October of 2021. In his confession, Bassett testified that he was asleep in the bedroom when Kyle got angry over messages from other women on his phone and reached for a revolver he had given her. According to Bassett, she held it up to her head and was about to back into a closet when she knocked into a chair. He surged forward, and the gun fired off. Bassett claimed that because he was terrified, he did nothing to assist her. After walking out of the apartment, Bassett turned to drugs for the following few days. After cleaning the apartment, he ultimately went back to pick up Kyle's body and placed it in a toolbox hidden in a crawl space beneath a long vacant house belonging to a relative. He claimed that he waited to come forward because he was afraid no one would accept his story. Records revealed that in the summer of 2021, desheena Kyle's killer concealed her remains in a toolbox inside the crawl space of an abandoned house located at 6969 Sam Tillery Road. She had sustained a head injury. Authorities claim that during their relationship, Bassett regularly injured and threatened desheena. According to court documents, he had attempted to strangle her, beat her during confrontations, and chased her with a knife. On one of the final days that Miss Kyle was seen alive, some of these acts were observed. On June 19, 2021, reports state that Bassett returned to his home to get a pistol before heading back to Kyle's apartment with the intention of killing her.
Guilty. That's the verdict a Knox County jury just handed down for murder suspect John Bassett.
Yeah, Bassett was arrested 2 years ago in connection to killing the woman that he had been in a relationship with, desheena Kyle. WAT 6 on your side reporter Molly O'Brien inside the courtroom when the verdict was handed down and has more for us. Molly.
Yeah, Bo and Don, the jury deliberated for a little over 3 hours, and in the end, they found John Bassett guilty on all 3 charges: first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. The trial then moved straight into the sentencing phase. For the murder charge, the jury heard moving family impact statements from desheena Kyle's mother, grandmother, and sister. They described her as a happy person who had dreams of opening her own business. The jury ultimately sentencing Bassett to life without the possibility of parole. Now, nearly 2 years later, Kyle's family finally feels like justice has been served.
When they said guilty on all 3 counts, I felt like a murderer was where he needed to be, on his way to prison for what he did to my daughter. And for people who don't know, desheena was my only daughter.
The trial for her daughter's killer falls on the same week Jackson's son is set to graduate high school. She says this has forever broken her heart. Reporting live in Knoxville, Molly O'Brien, WATE 6 on your side.
Molly, thank you. Bassett will return to court for sentencing for the abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence charges.
It's unclear at this time if he killed her after learning she was pregnant, despite some stories to the contrary. We hope that the family will find serenity going forward and concentrate on the memories they made with Kyle, given that they are pleased with the sentence. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.